Summertime and the living is easy. I disagree. It is hot as blue blazes down here. Kids are out of school and they want something to do every minute of the day, don't they? So this is, I've never heard of a child that didn't like noodles and cheese. Have you, Teresa? Have you, Eddie? I mean, they're born with that cheese and macaroni gene. So that's a dish that I'm putting together for y'all now. Hopefully, you can make this. It makes a pretty good bit, and you can keep it in the fridge. So when the kids run in and say, "I'm starving," you can pull it out and give them a nice hearty snack. Now I'm going to start with cottage cheese. My mother, I remember when she would diet, and she would take cottage cheese and chop up bell pepper, tomatoes, and onions and mix that together. And that was her salad. I never too much got into that. All right, now we're going to add our sour cream. And you know, all the measurements are at the end of this video so you can get them. All right, now onions. We don't have to tell the kids it's got onions, do we? They're grated so fine, they'll probably never know. Okie doke. So a teaspoon of Worcestershire. There we go. And that's it. It's so easy. Now I'm just going to fold in our egg noodles. And these are still very hot. Oops, get in there. Get in there. It calls for 1 6-ounce package. Was this a 6-ounce package?
Yes, ma'am.
Looks like a lot, doesn't it? 6 ounces. Doesn't sound like much, but when you cook it, it becomes a lot. This would make a nice side dish too. You know, but it seems like all noodle recipes over the years that I've come up on, it calls for a bunch of the noodles, you know, the pasta.
We never use all of it.
No, I never use all of it. So I'm going to leave about that much in my colander. So I just want to make sure all those noodles are coated. So there's no salt in this. The recipe doesn't call for any salt. It's yummy.
When you add that Parmesan cheese.
But I am going to add some salt to it, because there's nothing in it that contains a lot of salt. Maybe the cheese. That grated onion just takes it to a whole nother level, y'all. I wish you hadn't sprayed that yet, have you, Therese?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you'll want to make sure you spray your casserole dish so that it won't stick. Whoa. This dish wouldn't have held all those noodles. Almost wish I had taken some noodles out. Okay. Now we're going to bake this. My recipe calls for 45 minutes, but that just doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like too much. So, I never know in transitioning if times and temperatures, if they're been, entered wrong or something like that. 1 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. So this is wonderful. Like I said, it'll make a good snack for the kids or as a side dish with whatever you're serving. Okay. I just pulled the pasta out of the oven. Actually, it's been sitting for a few minutes. It's no longer hot enough to take the skin off the roof of your mouth, thank goodness. But I would recommend on this recipe, if you do try it, to use half the amount of noodles that it calls for. This is very, very good. But just half the noodles, so it'll be creamier for you. But the flavor is delicious. And hopefully your children will love it. So, back to the stove I go. Loving best dishes. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.